happening? I hope you're all well. So these are my fight week thoughts for Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte. This is a good fight. This is a very good fight. And it's actually closer than what I see people calling it. Or at least there's reasons to suspect that this fight is going to be closer than what people are thinking. So I saw Tyson Fury's workout and he was fighting southpaw for what I saw. He looked heavy though. He looked heavy. I would say he looks maybe, I think against Deontay Wilder in the third fight, he was in the 270s. If I remember correctly, in fact, I'm going to check that out right now. How much did Tyson Fury weigh in the fight for Deontay Wilder, the third one? I'm going to check that out now. Let's have a look at that. But I think he was lighter in the preview. Very quickly check that out. 277 against Deontay Wilder. I reckon he's looking in the 260s. He still looks flabby. He still, doesn't look ripped. He doesn't look defined. He's never had that type of physique. I mean, I remember once actually he had a little bit of a six-pack going on. I remember that. But for the most part, Tyson Fury is not someone who can look ripped and perform well. So it is what it is. 260 against Dillian Whyte and he was fighting in the southpaw for the workout. Does that mean that he's going to fight southpaw for the fight? No. Tyson Fury is he's very what's the word? He likes to mess with people, He likes to mess with people. He likes to make people think he's going to do one thing and then do another, or he might actually do what he said he's going to do. So the point I'm trying to make here is that just because Tyson Fury is, he was fighting on the pads, he was hitting the pads in the southpaw stance, doesn't mean he's going to come out and fight southpaw. You might never see him fight southpaw in the Dillian Whyte fight. It is what it is. Dillian Whyte didn't attend the workout. Apparently his plane was delayed or something like that. I've watched a couple of Dillian Whyte's interviews now. To me, Dillian Whyte doesn't look as confident as he normally looks in interviews. I don't know whether that's because, maybe it's the training, maybe he's just tired, or maybe he's the opponent this time, as he actually said in the last interview that I watched of him. He's the opponent, so maybe because he's the opponent, he hasn't got the same comforts as being the home fighter. Maybe it's because it's Tyson Fury, Maybe it's because it's Tyson Fury. Maybe he feels intimidated about the fact that he's going in there against Tyson Fury. I mean, I kind of don't think he's intimidated. However, I think maybe he knows the type of challenge that he's about to go into. Although with Dillian Whyte's a tough guy, Dillian Whyte's a tough guy. He got knocked out by Povetkin, came back and beat Povetkin in the next fight. So that makes me suspect that maybe he's not scared of Fury. Maybe he feels like, he's waited so long. According to him, I mean, I actually have my disagreements with regards to what I think about his whole how many days, 1,000 days or whatever it is. I kind of have my disagreements about that, and the reason why is because I feel Dillian Whyte could have gone to Kubrat Pulev's backyard and fought Kubrat Pulev, in, I believe, was that an eliminator for a world title, IBF or something like that. So I think Dillian Whyte could have gone to Kubrat Pulev's backyard and fought him. I think that Dillian Whyte could have fought Dominic Breazeale. I think that Dillian Whyte could have fought Luis Ortiz. I can't remember if that was an eliminator for a title, for a belt. But I think Dillian Whyte has actually had opportunities, Whether the money wasn't... Oh, and Anthony Joshua as well, he turned that down. So whether the money wasn't right or the situation wasn't right or whatever, I still feel that Dillian Whyte had opportunities to fight for a world title, in my opinion, So this whole, 1,000 days, whatever, I can't remember how many days they're talking about. I think that's a little bit off. But either way, Dillian Whyte probably doesn't see it like that. So what I'm going to go back to is the fact that Dillian Whyte probably feels he's waited so long for the opportunity to fight for a world title. Maybe now it's days away, he's a little bit nervous simply of that, and maybe not Tyson Fury as such. Maybe, you know. So, but the point I'm going to make here is that Dillian Whyte doesn't seem his usual brash, you know, extra confident self as he normally does. You know, that's what I will say in these interviews. I'm not saying that he's, you know, he's scared or anything like that. I'm just saying he doesn't seem as confident. For whatever reason. Could be because Tyson Fury is a great fighter, and, you know, not to say he's scared of him. Dillian Whyte's been in with bigger punches than Tyson Fury. Not to say he's scared of it. Maybe he's just thinking this is a really big challenge. Or maybe because he's waited, you know, he feels he's waited so long for a world title fight that now it's here, a little bit nervous. Or it could be something else that I haven't even mentioned, but to me doesn't seem as confident. So, you know, going into this fight, you know, Tyson Fury, I actually think that Dillian Whyte has a real good chance here, because I think Tyson Fury's best chance in this fight is to box on the back foot, popping out the jab, and using his feet to dance around the slow-footed Dillian Whyte. That's my opinion as to how Tyson Fury can win this fight without taking, you know, with minimal risk, you know, dancing around Dillian Whyte, using his feet, using his footwork, using his jab, maybe going southpaw every now and then, you know, showing ring generalship and, you know, showing the skills to impress the judges. And, you know, I feel like that's Tyson Fury's best chance on the back foot, using his height, using his reach, and basically just putting on a points win, a wide points win. That's what Tyson Fury should be doing if he wants to win the fight with minimal risk. However, Tyson Fury, you know, he boxed against Vladimir Klitschko in a close competitive fight. I know people saying, oh, it was wide in Fury's favour. I don't think so. You know, I think that was a close fight, in my opinion. That was a close fight. There was no clear rounds. I was like, wow, Tyson Fury wiped the floor with Klitschko. You know, people going on like that was some wide victory. Go back and watch that fight again. Klitschko won plenty of rounds in that fight. I don't know what people are watching. Maybe people think because they're expecting it to be one-sided for Klitschko that they're surprised that Fury is competitive. I don't know, but either way, Fury had success against Klitschko in putting Klitschko off on the back foot, popping out a jab, using his height, using his reach, and making things awkward, and using plenty of feints, and, you know, just basically getting Klitschko off his rhythm. I think that's his best chance against Dillian Whyte, but the problem is Tyson Fury was what, 245 in that one against Klitschko? Where is it here? 245 was it? 247. Fury was 247 in that fight. That fight was around 6 to 7 years ago. How is Tyson Fury going to be as light on his feet, as quick as he was when he was like 30 pounds lighter, 6 to 7 years younger? I don't think he is. I think that Tyson Fury, although he probably could get up on his toes and throw the feints, pop out the jab, go southpaw, you know, try and get real light on his feet and throw Whyte off his rhythm, I don't think he can do that as effectively as he could have done in 2015, in my opinion. I think he's too big now. I think he's older now. He is older now. So this is the problem. The question is, if Fury decides to get on the back foot and it's not as effective, will it still be effective enough? Because I think that Vladimir Klitschko in 2015 would beat Dillian Whyte now, in my opinion, knock him out. So, or a wide points win. So, you know, this isn't Vladimir Klitschko in front of him. However, Dillian Whyte has Tyson Fury slowed down enough with regards to his speed, his reflexes, his fleet of foot. Is he, as in that area of his game, is that decreased enough for Dillian Whyte to have success? That's the question. You know, in 2015, he was able to get up on his feet, throw the jab, throw the feints, get a fighter off his rhythm like Vladimir Klitschko. He might still be able to do that now, but I don't think it'll be as effective. However, Dillian Whyte's not Vladimir Klitschko. Dillian Whyte's slower feet than Klitschko. Dillian Whyte's technique's not as good as Klitschko. Dillian Whyte's balance isn't as good as Klitschko's in 2015. So Tyson Fury might still have enough on the back foot to get away with it against Dillian Whyte, but he might not. And if he doesn't, then Dillian Whyte's going to use his long arms maybe to jab his way in, work the body, work the head, throw the left hook to the body or to the head, and have some real success. If Tyson Fury decides to fight Dillian Whyte like he did against Deontay Wilder in the second and third fight, that is a real 50-50 fight. But that is a real 50-50 fight because on the inside, Dillian Whyte's very strong. On the inside, Fury's very strong. Dillian Whyte's got better punch selection on the inside than Tyson Fury. I'm not saying that if it goes on the inside that Tyson Fury's going to lose. I'm saying Dillian Whyte's punch selection on the inside is better than Tyson Fury's. Dillian Whyte is a better counter puncher than Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte, unlike Deontay Wilder, has very broad. He's very big and like a henchman. So shifting, ragdolling and moving, throwing Dillian Whyte around the ring is not going to be as easy as it was against Deontay Wilder, who's quite slender. So if Tyson Fury decides to go on the inside and give Dillian Whyte the opportunity to land his left hook, to land his his body shots, that's a 50-50 fight as far as I'm concerned. Maybe even slightly in favour of Dillian Whyte. So, in all honesty, Tyson Fury's best option is to go on the back foot, but I don't think his back foot game is going to be as effective as it used to be. So this is why this is an interesting fight. This is why this fight is closer than people realise. Who would I pick in a fight against Wilder and Whyte? Wilder, by knockout. Well, I need to see what Wilder's like now that he's had like 2 knockout defeats in a row, but I would favour Wilder against Whyte. However, Whyte does some things better than Wilder, such as inside, such as punch variety, such as knowing where to go in the ring. Although he's got slower feet than Wilder, his his footwork is better than Wilder's, although his feet are slower. I think Whyte does some things better than Wilder, which means that this is a different fight. As opposed to Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. This is a different kind of fight, a different type of challenge. So I think Whyte's got a real chance here because the way that Tyson Fury can win this fight, he's not as effective as he used to be, which is on the back foot. I mean, I don't think he's going to be as effective on the back foot as he once was, in my opinion. Even if Tyson Fury comes in light in this fight, and I reckon he's going to be, he looks around 260. If Tyson Fury comes in light for this fight, it's not going to be like how it used to be for Tyson Fury. Because if you're losing the weight, you need to get used to being at a lower weight. You can't just lose the weight and boom, you're firing on all cylinders, you're running around crazy. No, when you lose weight, your body loses energy, and you actually have to get used to being lighter than you were before. And then you start getting the energy, your body readjusts itself and redistributes the energy levels. But when you first lose weight, there's going to be a period where you're more tired. So if he's drained himself down to, I don't think he has, like say 250 or something like that, he's not going to be as energetic. So this isn't like back in the day. So what, he weighed 247. So actually, no, Tyson Fury, he has yo-yoed in weight. 247, 274 against Joey Abel, then 264 Chisora, 260 Hammer, 247 Klitschko. So he can go up and down in weight, but he's older now. So when you're trying to lose weight and you're getting older, it's more difficult, and the impact of that, you know, when your metabolism is slower and you're forcing your body to do something, there is going to be repercussions. So if he tries to lose the weight now that he's older, it's less likely it's going to be as effective. But, you know, I think that this is a real interesting fight, and the reason I think it's so interesting is because Tyson Fury, he's been down, man. He's been down. How many times has he been down? So he was down twice in the first Wilder fight, three times, was it? No, twice in the third Wilder fight, and hurt by Otto Wallin. This is a guy that gets hurt in fights, man. This is a guy that gets hurt in fights. People say Tyson Fury a great fighter. I'm not saying he's not a great fighter. I'm saying this is a guy that gets hurt in fights. This is a guy that gets knocked down in fights. He was down against what's his name? What's that guy's name? This was ages ago. Pikage. It was down against Pikage, down against Steve Cunningham, hurt against Chisora in the first fight. You know, was he hurt against John McDermott in the first fight? Hurt against Wallin. Down in the Wilder fight twice. The first one, down twice in the third fight. This is a guy that gets hurt in fights. So, you know, this is a guy that gets hurt. Dillian Whyte's got power. Dillian Whyte can hit. You know, Dillian Whyte's got serious punch power. And Dillian Whyte himself is a guy that gets hurt in fights. Both of these guys can probably hurt each other. Dillian Whyte is a guy that gets hurt in fights. He was hurt against Wack. He was down against Povetkin. He got knocked out against Povetkin. Knocked out against Anthony Joshua. Down against Oscar Rivas. Hurt against Hellenius. Who else has Dillian Whyte been hurt by? Probably other fighters I can't even... Derek Chisora hurt him. So you got two fighters who can get hurt. I think Dillian Whyte probably takes a punch a little bit better. But you got two fighters here who can get hurt. You got two fighters here, you know, Dillian Whyte's got serious punch power. Tyson Fury can punch a little bit. You got Fury, who probably isn't as good on the back foot, which is his best way to win the fight as he used to be. You got Dillian Whyte, who can fight on the back foot. Dillian Whyte, who can fight on the front foot. Dillian Whyte's a versatile fighter. He's not the best in every area, but he can do a little bit of everything. And he can punch, which is always good. So I would favour Fury in this fight, but I'm telling you, like, I'm not going to be the one that's like shocked if Whyte goes and knocks Tyson Fury out. I'm not going to be shocked about that at all, because Whyte hurts people. Whyte can put the hurt on people. Anyway, oh, Whyte was also get hurt against Parker. Anyway, so, you know, this is my fight week thoughts. You know, just a few thoughts here. I might make another video after the weigh-in and see what happens here. And yeah, let me know what you think. You know, do you, like me, think that Fury's best chance is on the back foot? Do you, like me, think he won't be as good on the back foot as, you know, 2015 or back in the days? Do you think that Dillian Whyte has actually got, you know, is actually quite a versatile fighter, and actually he has quite a good chance of winning here? Do you, like me, think that Dillian Whyte, you know, he has the punch power, you know, he can do something here, he's got the good body shots, and, you know, do you think that Dillian Whyte has a notable chance of winning this fight? Because I do. Let me know in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next video. What's happening, people? Subscribe to my boxing channel for fight footage, training footage, client footage, and more. You'll find boxing tips that you can apply to your own training. So subscribe to my boxing channel. The link is in the description.